Welcome to the Wednesday, May 15th, 2024 meeting of the Lenox Selectboard. It's just a regular meeting, and announcements from the chair is first up. And I do have one thing, and we'll talk more about this during the meeting. But I think it's important just to remind people of an open house we're having tomorrow night here, May 16th, to learn facts about the UDF and the remediation plan. Weston and Sampson will be here to explain to people what they don't know and questions they have. It's a good thing, if you're interested in this, it's a good session to come to learn and maybe answer questions you don't know the answer to already. But just get yourself ready to make a response if you want to the EPA. So we'll talk more about that as the meeting goes on. But it's important that people go to this, so I want to get out there as much as I can. Next is acceptance of minutes of May 8th.
We actually don't have minutes.
We don't.
Yet.
Okay. So we'll move right along. Citizens open forum. Any Lenox residents are welcome to address the board for up to 2 minutes. Anybody?
Can I throw in an announcement real
Sure.
quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Art Week starts tomorrow in the Berkshires. It's May 17th to May 27th. There will be live performances, open studios, artist workshops, demonstrations in Lenox, Great Barrington, Williamstown, North Adams, and I believe Pittsfield. Check Instagram, check Facebook, check your local cultural district for all of the different artists and performers that will be part of this. It's May 17th to May 27th. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. So we'll move on to the consent agenda, and Dave will read that.
I will.
Anybody obviously wants to put a hold on one, just feel free to.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, one-day wine and malt license request for the Lennoxdale Fire Company requests a one-day wine and malt license for their annual dinner located at Elm Street on Friday, May 24th, 6 to 11 p.m. A certified bartender will be present. One-day all-alcoholic license. Elizabeth Vortsy requests a one-day all-alcoholic license for an event at Benford Hall located at 104 Walker Street on Saturday, June 15th, 2 to 8. A certified bartender present. One-day all-alcoholic license for Derek and Victoria Holt request a one-day all-alcoholic license for rehearsal dinner on Friday, May 31st, 5:30 to 8:30 at Benford Hall located at 104 Walker Street. A certified bartender will be present. A copy of the Firefighters Association contract is included in your packet for approval. Auditorium use request, Birchwood Village Association requests the use of the auditorium for an association meeting on June 28th, 4 to 6 p.m. Entertainment license request. Apple Tree Inn requests an entertainment license to continue with operations as approved under the establishment's previous owner. Ratified town manager appointment. Town manager appointment has appointed Dylan Tyre as patrolman for Lenox Police Department.
Okay, can I get a second on the consent agenda?
I'll second that.
Any discussion on any of the items? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. So moving right along to general business, we have a public hearing, and this is continued from our May 8th meeting, so we don't have...
We're still open, right?
It's still open, so we can just continue that. Yao Restaurant, Inc., doing business as Yao Asian Fusion Cuisine, located at 9 Franklin Street, requests an all-alcoholic on-premises restaurant liquor license. And I see Attorney Lynch here, so maybe he'd like to, and his client, I'm sure, maybe they'd like to introduce themselves and tell us what's going on.
Jeff Lynch, here representing Yao Restaurant Inc. With me is Shi Yao. Sorry. She also goes by Wendy. She's the owner of Yao Restaurant Inc. and the manager applicant. First, I want to start off by apologizing to the board and again my client for last week on my time snafu. So I'm glad you were able to continue it to this week, and so thank you for that. So Wendy has been in the restaurant business for much of her life. She was a former co-owner of Kodo in Pittsfield. She was also the owner of Enzo that was in Lenox for a period of time and the manager under that license. So she brings with her a wealth of restaurant management experience. Her husband also works with her in the restaurant business, and they recently just bought 9 Franklin Street. So 9 Franklin Street is owned by an LLC, of which her husband is the member, and Wendy is the owner of Yao Restaurant, Inc., its sole shareholder and director. So the plan is for an Asian fusion restaurant with a sushi bar. It'll be located on the first floor of the premises. Right now, the second floor of that building is a residential apartment use, so it's a mixed-use building. They're looking forward to coming into Lenox, introducing their experience in the restaurant business there. You'll see in the application, again, there's a single entrance coming off of Franklin Street, which will be the public entrance. There'll be dining room seating, and along with a typical bar for drinks, and plus seating at a sushi bar. Let's see, the hours of operation that she's requesting are 7 days a week, from 11 a.m. through 9 p.m. And so again, obviously serving a lunch and dinner crowd. As I noted, the operations will be by a lease agreement. That's how they have the right to occupy. Everything will be inside. The site itself will not allow for an outdoor dining space at all. So Wendy is obviously here. She's available to answer any questions that you may have. But I think this is a great opportunity for Lenox, a little bit of diversity in terms of the type of food offerings that are there. This has been a long dormant restaurant space, so I know I'm really excited to see that building put back into operation, and Wendy and her husband will be a great addition to downtown.
I think we're all happy to see that. Thank you for doing this,
Thank
Wendy.
you.
You know, it's been sitting there idle, and we need places like this that are gonna be open. I like the 7-day-a-week thing, too.
Yeah,
You're hard
Like
worker.
that.
yeah.
And,
I like the sushi bar sound.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Really good.
Anything you wanna say, Wendy, or you?
Yeah, me and my husband working in the restaurant over 15 years now. So we want to bring our best sushi and Asian cuisine to the neighbor. Yeah, thank you for everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're
Good
very,
luck.
very excited to have you join us in Lenox.
Thank you.
Jeff, does the lease include the apartment upstairs as well?
Yes, so the restaurant itself is leasing the entire premises itself. When they transition from that residential use, they may either keep it residential or transition it to support the restaurant business, but not with service, for more office space or other use for the restaurant, to support the restaurant operation.
This is not on top, but I was thinking it'd be wonderful if it became available rental housing.
That is currently how it's used.
Yeah.
So, if I could just add, I know that I submitted also an entertainment license application with this, and I don't know if it made it to the agenda, but if I could speak to it now, even if it goes on the next consent agenda, just very basic. They wanted the ability to have background music, maybe a television at one of the bars. There's no other type of entertainment.
Was it captured in the April 23rd application?
I don't think on the notice itself.
I have, as I just said, it wasn't the little checkbox, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay, no, that's all right. No, I just wanted to speak to it while I'm here.
Yeah.
And then it could be taken up at the
This
next
is
meeting,
just the request is,
Got it.
so.
Well, you're well within hours that we consider acceptable for
Yeah.
entertainment like that, so I don't see any problem with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else? So I guess we have to close the public hearing.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move to close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so Dave, you have a motion?
So, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the all alcoholic license for Yellow Restaurant Inc. doing DBA Yao Asian Fusion Cuisine, dated April 23rd, 2024.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Good luck to
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Welcome to Lenox.
Thank you.
Excited for when you're open.
They bring back those money bags.
Yeah, what do you think that's gonna be?
Oh, we didn't ask them that.
I know, we should ask them that.
Pretty much consider me at the sushi bar opening night.
I'll be, yeah,
Yeah.
me too. You'll be both.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have a public hearing for a traffic signal at Housatonic Street and East. So we have to,
I got nothing to read.
you have nothing to read, no? It's just a motion,
Okay,
just a public hearing.
So, yeah.
I got it. So
we
I
have-
move to amend, is that the motion? Oh. I move to amend the traffic rules and orders of the town of Lenox to install a flashing overhead traffic light at the intersection of Housatonic and East Streets as proposed by the superintendent of public works.
Second on that?
Second.
No, we had a session with this, what was it, 2 weeks ago, Bill? 3 weeks ago, whenever. This sorely needed light at that intersection has been trouble forever. And this is, sounds like, I hope it's secure, but I'm not gonna say that out loud. But I hope it helps the situation there. So I think it was very well received by this board, I know that, so.
So, there's been substantial engineering done, and obviously in the lead up to staff's initial proposal, but since that time, Superintendent Gopp, and others have communicated with the neighbors. Notice has been sent to the abutters to the intersection itself, and it's, I mean, I assume, I've heard nothing but universal positive feedback. I haven't heard any detractors, have you?
No,
Okay.
we did
So-
send out a letter, and then I stopped, this is, Jeff's grandmother, I wanna say, but
Mrs. Joyner?
Mrs. Joyner and Jeff's mother. The other Mrs. Joyner.
Yeah.
But they were outside, so I swung by on Saturday
Yeah.
and talked to them, and they were all in favor. Mrs. Joyner, Zach's wife,
Yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
had a, just brought up concern about the flashing beacons for the crosswalk, and that she was nervous about trucks having to stop there. So that was her one concern, which I said.
Well, that's what we purposely didn't have the trucks stop when they're going east and west.
Right, but for a crosswalk, which there's a crosswalk there now.
Okay.
This would just be like one of those lights you see down, or in front of the community center. If you're gonna cross, you hit the button and rapid beacons flash.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that would be installed there as well.
Mhm.
And so she just said she was concerned with that, but the lights, the blinking light in the middle of the intersection was no issue at all.
And this will be done in conjunction with the project there now, and it'll be done this summer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hope to have everything wrapped up by the end of August, before school starts next fall.
Yeah, I mean, Chief O'Brien was certainly very in favor of this and felt this was
Yeah.
the most appropriate next step before we have to go more drastic.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope it works.
Yeah, that sounds good, especially with, people coming and going from school. That'll help calm that traffic a little bit, hopefully.
All right, so motion been made, it's been seconded, and we've discussed it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it.
So I think we should probably say that we have an application in to use Chapter 90 funds. We assume there'll be no problem with that.
Oh, can we use it for that?
But to the extent that there's additional, we'll develop a different plan. But the main thing is that we've now been given direction to the board to move forward. So we'll make that happen one way or the other. But so you're aware, it's a Chapter 90 application pending with DOT.
Great.
All right.
Okay, next on the agenda is discuss and approve comments to the EPA. Consultants at Western, I'm sorry. Oh, Neil, you're going to excuse yourself.
I'm just gonna excuse myself from this. we're getting close to the point
Most
where I
of them can
think
be part of it, you know.
I can participate, but, you know, while you're still doing substantive comments to their work plans, I keep checking with the AG and they keep saying, stay out,
Well,
so.
gotta follow the rules on that one, don't get involved.
Well, just, you know, not harm Lennox, you know,
Yeah.
at this late stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, excuse me, because we don't have anything else, right?
Nothing else after this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna discuss and approve comments to the EPA. Our consultants at Weston and Sampson are preparing comments, and they've prepared comments on the upland disposal facility work plans on behalf of the town. Pretty in-depth comments. I've read them. They're ask a lot of questions, and Mr. Ketchen has drafted a letter to go along with this. And again, this is, we'll have a public session tomorrow night. People can come, and our engineers will be there to, with plans and charts and information, you know, that we need to, that people need to make informed decisions. So first I'll just have Chris just read his letter that he's sending in.
So I'll only add that aside from that, this is pretty technical stuff when we get down to the UDF design plans. So it is a bit dense, but in addition, the 3 technical memos on each of the plans that have been submitted by EPA or to EPA from General Electric. The Weston and Sampson comment memos are up on the website. So even if you're not able to make it tomorrow night, you can benefit from reading those. You have tonight, tomorrow, you got the weekend. Public comments are due to EPA by Monday, so hopefully that's
It's worth pointing
informative.
out again, the library's done a great job on all kinds of information on there. People that have questions about this, right from 6-7 years ago, when all this began, how we got to this point and everywhere in between. So
Right.
it's worth your time. If you're interested, that's a place to go. That's where the information is.
All right, so I will read this draft letter into the record. It's to Dean Tagliaferro at EPA New England. That's Region 1. These are the Town of Lenox comments on the UDF final design plan, the revised final pre-design investigation summary report, and the UDF operations monitoring and maintenance plan. So strap in. Dear Mr. Tagliaferro, the purpose of this letter is to convey comments and concerns of the town of Lenox regarding the remediation of polychlorinated biphenyls in the Housatonic River. Specifically, we submit the foregoing comments on 3 plans submitted by General Electric for design, construction, and ongoing maintenance of the Upland Disposal Facility, or UDF. Lenox has reviewed the GE proposals and accompanying data submitted. Lenox has also engaged a consulting engineer, Weston and Sampson, to provide technical assistance. See 3 attached technical memorandums. There are 71 total comments on the 3 submissions covering landfill engineering, hydrology and environmental assessment, and geotechnical engineering. Finally, Lenox has also reviewed the comments, 37, provided under the Technical Assistance Services for Communities, or TASC, filing dated April 5th, 2024. This letter and accompanying attachments constitute the town's response to the Environmental Protection Agency as approved by the Lenox Select Board on May 15th, 2024, in advance of the formal comment deadline on May 20th, 2024. That's prospective, of course. While all of the comments by Weston and Sampson and the task filing should be addressed by EPA, in this letter, the town has the following points of emphasis. Number 1, Weston and Sampson's comments highlight multiple aspects of the plan that require verification of standards. Examples include aerodynamic diameter of particulate matter, centimeters per second permeability, millimeters of geomembrane thickness, etc. While these critiques and recommendations regarding UDF specifications are highly technical in nature, they illustrate the overarching concerns that Lenox has repeatedly voiced for this project, namely, the need for independent monitoring of contractors as stated in multiple prior filings. Lenox again implores EPA to maximize third-party oversight of all cleanup activities. It is self-evident that human nature causes contractors to behave differently when there is oversight. Therefore, the presence and independence of oversight monitors are crucial, given the permit holder's incentive to minimize cleanup costs. Number 2. And we've got 8 of these, so. As pointed out on page 5 of the task comments, the statement of work for the final design plan does not include roles, responsibilities, and hierarchy of key personnel, nor is there disclosure of the process for selecting contractors or scheduling work. There is no construction quality assurance plan, project closeout requirements, or post-construction closure activities. Lenox draws EPA's attention to these deficiencies and requests an amended plan that includes these absent components. Number 3. While the UDF is located in Lee, the top portion will be visible from Lenox. Therefore, Lenox supports the town of Lee's proposed revegetation of the landfill cap with a grassland cover and plant pollinator species. We are pleased to see the inclusion of this element in the UDF plan. However, we draw EPA's attention to task comment number 15 regarding steps to eliminate and prevent the presence of invasive species, which has also been a concern expressed by Lenox in previous filings. Number 4. Hydraulic conveyance is a key component of Lenox's requirements under the 2020 settlement agreement, which led to the revised final permit for this project. As such, we draw EPA's attention to Weston & Sampson's UDF Final Design Plan Memorandum Comment Number 10 and Task Comment Number 13, as well as our own observations that the plan does not describe the element of the site that will enable hydraulic transport. Obviously, this requires an amendment to the plan as submitted. Number 5. Lenox requests that EPA consider the suitability of the UDF itself as a location for hybrid disposal averaging area as opposed to the Woods Pond headwaters contemplated in the revised final permit. We believe the UTF is a suitable site for these activities, making their removal from the river corridor more efficient and less disruptive. Therefore, we see an opportunity here to improve upon the permit in a mutually beneficial way. Number 6. Lenox is concerned about the disjointed nature of the UDF plans relative to other operational aspects of the project. This has been a general thread of concern in several previous filings. As it relates to the UDF Final Design Plan, for example, Weston & Sampson's UDF Final Design Plan Memorandum Comment Number 10 states that, quote, the handling, dewatering, placement, and compaction of hydraulically dredged sediment is intrinsic to the design and operation of the UDF. The final design report suggests that slurry will be placed directly into the UDF cells. However, the means and methods for this approach is lacking in specifics. If dewatering of slurry is proposed for outside the UDF cells, the operational support areas to conduct slurry dewatering have not been identified in the final design plan. Similarly, task comment number 11 states that a required component of the UDF final design plan is an understanding of the UDF operations areas. The UDF final design plan does not provide clarity on the use of the operations areas, which remains uncertain regarding use. Examples such as this abound throughout these and other submissions, and while it would be cumbersome to enumerate them all in this space, they have been documented by the town of Lenox as well as other third-party reviewers. This is a problem and represents a pattern of deficiency that EPA must address. Number 7. As the public comment filings become more numerous, we request that EPA develop a system of correspondence that addresses community and citizen submissions. The town of Lenox has made many filings over the last 10 months and expects to continue doing so throughout the project. We would like to see a process where explanation is provided for how various comments have been or will be incorporated into final work plans. Alternatively, we would like to see explanations provided as to why comments that have been submitted cannot be included based on EPA's review. And number 8. Lenox has made frequent mention of the need for online resources to keep the public informed of daily cleanup activities. Expanding upon these previous requests, Lenox would like to see the inclusion of statistical data to the maximum extent possible. Moreover, Weston & Sampson have made several comments regarding the establishment of action thresholds based on air quality monitoring and other data collected. EPA should include all of these recommendations in a public communication plan, whether part of an approved quality of life compliance plan or one or more UDF plans or transportation and disposal plan. Here again, Lenox observes examples of real-time online displays of statistical measures, dust, noise, other contaminants, via dedicated project websites in other parts of the country. For example, East Palestine, Ohio, train derailment air sampling data dashboard. Again, we request a reporting system that is just as robust and preferably better as part of this cleanup project. Thank you in advance for your consideration of these comments, and we look forward to your favorable response.
Can I make a couple of suggestions?
Yes.
In that last paragraph, the third or fourth sentence begins, EPA should include all. I think it should say EPA must include all of these recommendations in a public communication plan. And then the final sentence, again, we request a reporting system that is just as robust. I think that should say, again, we demand a reporting system that is just as robust.
Well, Chris, I think you've, between what Weston and Sampson is providing, what you've written here, there's a lot of things that a lot of people are not happy with. Especially the fact that we have to override EPA to do a decent job with our own third party, and even they should be hiring another third party or fourth party, if you will, but the whole thing has to be watched, and you know, there's just a lot to it, and the part, I'm just kind of ramble here a little bit, but the last part about them reaching out to us with communication, I mean, we asked them for that very clearly 10 months ago, and they promised at that time we'd be doing weekly updates. We hear
I
nothing.
haven't seen it, yeah.
You know, it just, I mean, there's an awful lot here, and my question is, since there is so much here, what would you anticipate as the timetable going forward with this part of it? I know you don't know, but what is, do you know something I don't know? I haven't heard anything.
Well, that would be a projection.
Yeah, I know it. We're not holding you to it. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering if there's any.
I mean, you know, having been in government service for 25 years, you know, these processes tend to wear people down. You don't let it wear you down.
That's right.
You just keep working,
Gotta keep
and
the
you
pressure
keep working.
Yeah, one wonders if that isn't part of the plan.
Pressure is part of it, but persistence is even more to the point. So you know, one example of that, right? You know, rewind to the settlement agreement itself. So the task comments were all, you know, we have an EPA grant that allows us to engage SKIO, who then has another subcontractor working on you know, these 37 task comments. So we received that for feedback as a result. I mean, we clearly don't have the in-house expertise. We can evaluate it and, you know, synthesize it into something to the extent this is semi-digestible. This is about as close as it gets. You know, when you read the technical reports, it's obviously much denser. So you're gonna keep doing this. This is gonna go on and on and on. It's gonna be like this forever. And you never stop.
The key
So
takeaway
that's-
is you can't let them wear you down.
You can't let them wear you down.
We have to keep on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mean to personalize it. It's the nature of federal law. I mean,
We can't let the process wear us down, and
I mean, I wasn't gonna bristle about the must or the staff at EPA are limited by the law as to what they can force people to do, as well. So there's so many moving parts to all of this. You just have to stay on top of it all the time, and
Gotcha.
you know, I don't know, maybe because I'm coming to the end, I feel a little bit more at ease expressing my opinion. But you know, I want to pound my fist on the table, but you can't do that. You have to just keep going. It's the 20-mile march every day. For those of you who study Arctic exploration. Yeah, you just have to keep doing the 20-mile march, and don't stop. So that would be my parting advice, although I'm afraid I'll probably have to write another one of these before I leave. So.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Max?
The only question I would have is, what recourse do we as citizens in town, and as a town and region have if EPA didn't respond to any of this ever?
So this is a good point. So the settlement agreement did place a burden of proof on certain elements of the of what happens here. Hydraulic dredging is one thing. Like, you know, that's the hill that Lenox would, you know, proverbially die on, right? As opposed to trucks, and you know, other communities can explain why they didn't include that in there. It's not for me to, you know, decide why they did what they did, but that, you know, there's stronger language that precludes truck transport for sites in Lenox than there is in other communities. And there are other elements of the settlement agreement that are sort of non-negotiables, right? So one of the comments that we made in a previous filing was that we'd like task to expand I'm sorry, I'm using it like a noun. We'd like the task funded consulting services to expand in scope to include evaluation of work plans against the language of the settlement agreement, because, you know, I have a pretty good idea of what I think, where I think the lines are that can't be crossed, but you know, it's my eyes, your eyes. It'd be nice to get a 10th or 11th set of eyes that are a little more removed from the history of the project to take a look at that objectively as well. So we've made that request. But I mean, we have a legally enforceable document that allows us to push so far up to a point, and, you know, I mean, I think we've tested some of those parameters in previous comments. I think these are. I don't think these test any parameters. It's just, you know, do a better job. And you know, there's even under RCRA or CERCLA, you're required to do certain things, and you need to do that. You call the regulator's attention to it. They are the regulator. That's their job. So I mean, at some point, I mean, we're not at a point where any plan, as far as we're aware, or as far as I'm aware, if somebody wants to make me aware of an area where either the settlement agreement's been violated or one of the federal statutes has been violated, I'm not aware that has happened yet. But part of how we make sure that doesn't happen is staying on top of it and saying, this is a problem, it has to be fixed. And I mean, I have to say, I mean, I think that's part of what's going on with the revised T&D plan as we speak, where we've pointed out that this is a problem and it has to be fixed. And I'm going to assume, until proven otherwise, that process of fixing it is occurring. That being said, you know, I mean, we say here and elsewhere, it's human nature for the permit holder to want to minimize cost. I don't think any of us should be surprised by that. So you put yourself in the other person's shoes, and what would you do? And then if that doesn't work for you, then you find a way to push to make sure that it's addressed by the regulator. Insofar as you have either the statutory or regulatory authority or framework to force an action. In some cases, that's not true. That's part of how we got here, right? RCRA, CERCLA only allows, the laws that we have on the books only allow us to, or in the case of EPA in 2016, only allows them to push so far. A administrative board, a nonpartisan administrative board at the EPA disagreed with Region 1 6 years ago. That's what led to the settlement agreement. One of the parties to the mediation was unsatisfied and decided to appeal that through the judicial branch of government. That appeal failed twice. So that could have been us, right? So we could have been the ones losing in federal court without a settlement agreement to fall back on. And as frustrating as I think we all agree that the current situation is, the alternative would be far, far worse, in my estimation. But others can feel free to disagree.
You and Chris have covered it pretty well. Anything, Mary Beth?
No, I just wanted to make it as strong as possible, and that's why I made those suggestions, because if we're not speaking to them in the strongest possible terms, I think we should just continue to make those points.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think we're all frustrated with
Yeah.
a lot of it, but key thing is we can't let up.
yeah, you can't back off, right, you just gotta keep coming.
Keep marching.
Yep.
All right, so tomorrow night's meeting,
I gotta,
oh, I'm sorry.
I gotta move.
We'll want to change the language per.
Yes, okay. So I'll do that. I'll move to approve the letter to the EPA regarding the 3 upland disposal facilities work as planned, presented by the town manager and edited by Mary Beth Mitz.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the only thing I was gonna add is
I do it before you close the meeting.
about this, I just wanna.
Oh, no, I'm done with
Okay.
that, with this.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention again about the meeting tomorrow night here at Town Hall.
Okay, and I want to talk about Memorial Day.
Yes. Just want people to be there if they can be there.
It's my understanding that there are still time slots for Lenox residents only. I think that was part of the problem last time. So Lenox residents can still sign up for, some time slots to meet with engineers, have their questions answered.
And then we'll have a discussion after
Yeah.
that. Okay, Dave, you're up.
I'm up if I get my calendar up.
You gotta be prepared.
Well, that's, okay, so, Monday, the 27th of May is Memorial Day. And as usual, the Lenox VFW will be supporting a parade to include, fire department, police department, all emergency services, plus the, Lenox High Band and, the community center. So, it kicks off at noontime from the church on the hill. It proceeds to the monument here in town, and then to St. Anne's Cemetery for closing remarks. So if you can attend, please attend. You'll notice that thanks to the town of Lenox, who has supplied flags for the graves to honor our veterans, the VFW has placed them out there. So it's always impressive to go through the cemeteries and see all of the folks who have served in the military. So, see you on the
Lennox Dale will have a.
Oh, Lenox, yeah, 8
ceremony
o'clock.
also.
Thank you. Jesus, I
It's
get
okay.
paid for that
That's what
one.
I'm here for. We're saved you that.
8 o'clock in the morning, Lenoxdale. We'll also have a parade, followed by, or mass, followed by parade and remarks in the town park. So, yeah. So that'll be 8 o'clock on the 27th.
Two
Okay.
beautiful walks.
2 beautiful walks.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything? We're good. Motion to adjourn.
So I moved that we adjourn.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all.